There has been a lot of talk about China and their persecution of minorities, what the state does to Uyghur Muslims and to other minorities within the country in the name of re-education or very much cultural ethnic cleansing. In the past, I have addressed this a few times and condemned it. I am against the oppression and the killing and the torture of people based on their ethnic or religious identities or other harmless life choices. It causes pain and suffering and chaos and disaster. The example of it is abundant in history. It is counterproductive. I would not wish it upon myself. If I was being oppressed, I would resist. I would not approve of oppression done to others. It will cause hate and resentment. Despite that, people think that people like me, critics of Islam or apostates, would approve of a genocide against Muslim populations. Recently, certain Muslim apologists have accused me of celebrating or mocking the killing of Uyghur Muslims in China, which is unthinkable. That is completely irreconcilable with how I speak, how I think, and all the things that I have said in the past, including declaring that I don't hate Muslims, that I find it dumb to hate people based on their religious ideas, no matter how terrible those ideas are, and so on. That leads back to one specific Twitter thread in which I apparently said, "I'm sure you are enjoying what's going on in China. You should dance to it." What is happening in that tweet is not that I'm mocking the deaths of the Uyghur people in China or other minorities. I'm making a comparison to call out someone's hypocrisy. The full thread goes as follows. Jordan Peterson announces that he just had a talk with Mohammed Hijab. I ask him, did you try to vet this guest and see if he's suitable for a discussion? Have you looked into this, for example? And then I post screenshots of Mohammed Hijab saying terrible things like telling me to commit suicide, that anti-Muslim women want to be raped, and the whole golden shower deal. A Muslim then says, lol, because it's you, it can be justified. I then say, for example, rape, suicide incitement, and targeted harassment. Can they all be justified because it is someone you don't like? Be more specific, please. This is very informative. This guy came in and said, you idiot. He was exemplifying the stupidity of your worldview and how those things are not wrong according to your beliefs. I then said, that is not what he was doing. That is not how morality works anywhere. And third, I wish to also do to you and your family the things that are not morally wrong to do to the enemies of Islam and apostates according to Islamic law. I'm sure we can come to an agreement. I think it's very obvious, it's very clear that I'm trying to present a hypothetical to call out the hypocrisy and to do what this guy thinks Mohammed Hijab did to me, to say terrible things because he thinks those are in alignment with my views. The response was, 1, that's exactly what he's doing, 2, yes it does, 3, too bad. However, we can do that to you. And as I saw that, I thought, yeah, I'm sure you are enjoying what's going on in China, you should dance to it. Looking at the context, what did I do here? Did I mock the deaths of the minorities in China? Did I make fun of it? Did I celebrate it? I did use sarcasm, I did mock something, but definitely not the deaths of innocent people. What I did mock is the morals, the perspective, the attitude of people like this commenter here. I condemn the oppression of people, no matter who they are. I condemn the idea that people should be oppressed and forcibly re-educated and kidnapped for their religious or ethnic identities, because that certainly will not solve the problem. But the issue is I also condemn what China apparently does and what many other states, many of them Islamic, do. And I also condemn the treatment of apostates from Islam, their torture and execution and expulsion. A certain small YouTuber even uploaded a video in which he says that I cannot compare the treatment of apostates, who are supposed to be killed according to Islam, to the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in China, because apostasy is treason, it's a crime.
Well, you Muslims believe in the apostasy law, the killing of ex-Muslims. Yes, we do. However, what is the apostasy law? When is it used? It's used in a country governed by the Sharia, Islamic law. And what is apostasy? What is it classed as? It's treason, isn't it? You committed a crime, you get punished. It's completely different to somebody just getting on with their life as you do and being imprisoned, raped, abused and tortured for simply being a member of a religion. Do not try and compare the two.
Oh really? Well, that's exactly the point. How about we make it a crime to convert to Islam? How about we make it a crime to practice Islam? How about we say, if you are a Muslim, keep it to yourself. don't declare it publicly or else? What if we made it a crime to convert to Islam, to express that you are a Muslim, and to publicly practice Islam? What if we made it punishable by death? And what if we said, well, it's a crime, and if you commit that crime, you have to deal with the consequences? Of course, I would never approve of such a thing, which is why I have the basic decency of condemning China for a persecution, for an oppression that is apparently being done, when this oppression of Uyghur Muslims in China is not even remotely as harsh as the oppression of apostates and critics of Islam under an ideal Islamic state. Those people would be ruthlessly, without forgiveness, exterminated, killed, executed, or forced to return or convert to Islam. Whereas in China, we have an alleged cultural genocide, where people are allegedly taken to certain camps and re-educated under harsh circumstances in order to think a different way and become loyal ideologues of the communist Chinese regime. As harsh as it is, I'm sorry, the treatment of apostates and critics of Islam and of polytheists and maybe even of Jews and Christians in an ideal Islamic state is harsher. If you support Islamic laws and if you support the treatment of apostates and of critics, then you shouldn't condemn people, call out people, insult people for their views on the Chinese treatment of Uyghur Muslims and other minorities, no matter what their views are. Be against oppression in all kinds and forms, not only against the oppression of your own people. Stay away from Islam.